Hello everybody, welcome to the Planet FPL Gameweek 11 Deadline stream in partnership with FPL Team, and it's live. FPL Team is your best one-stop shop for all your FPL planning, and with a blank game week on the horizon, that becomes particularly useful at this time of year. You can see my team on screen, rolling a transfer, a bit of a benching headache. I don't think Udogie will start, to clarify. This time last week I was really confident. I was like, yeah, he's going to play. Got that wrong. This week I think he's a little less likely than likely, but I'm quite comfortable with William Saliba in reserve. Leaving Saka on the bench is ugly, but I think it's probably the right call based on my predictions. So I'm lining up this week with Johnston, Cash, Udogie / Saliba, I think it needs to be said. Shimikas, Bowen, Maddison, Son, Mitoma, Alvarez, Watkins, Captain, Haaland. Below that, you'll see the rotation of my predicted lineups for all 20 teams this week. To the left, you'll see a rotator between the top captaincy picks. It's Haaland if you've got, it's Salah if you haven't, and if you want to go rogue, it's Darwin Núñez for me. That'll also show my correct score predictions during the course of the stream as well. Right at the bottom, you'll see the fixture ticker, next 5 game weeks for all 20 teams, which is based on FPL's FDR. And right above that and below me, you'll see the benching dilemma screen where there's 2 players together. The player with the tick is the preferred option to start. That runs in order of outfield players, pages 1 to 4, and you'll see goalkeepers on page 5. Right, I think that's pretty much it, basically, I think, in terms of your graphics and stuff. I'll go through these questions as normal in order of submission, repeat similar questions I may end up skipping. We are circa 53 minutes to the deadline. I will smash through these for you. I don't suppose anybody's too bothered about Fulham Manchester United 12:30. You're not really, are you? Are you? In terms of buying Man United players, you're not really, are you? Bruno Fernandes getting booked today, by the way. Just being logical about this for a second. You might remember I said Bassoon would get intentionally booked at Luton and missed the game against Fulham, and he did, but the problem was he got booked again. United got Luton next week. He's on 4 yellows. I'm looking at United's fixtures and I'm thinking, yeah, maybe miss Luton. I wouldn't be going near him, and I wouldn't be surprised if Bruno gets a late booking for like kicking the ball away or something. Honestly, I really wouldn't be surprised. But if I do hear anything on early team news for them or Manchester City, I guess is probably more important, and we might get something, then I will share that with you before deadline. It will be through secondary information. I'm not ITK. Right, let's get into the questions. Vivek Gore says, hi James, have one free transfer planned to sell Porro. Who do you prefer from Gay, Anderson, Dawson or Josh Roll? Have no other concerns. So look, I think the answer to this, Vivek, lies in what's first on your bench. I'm comfortable with William Saliba. I've been saying all week I think that will be a low-scoring football match. So if he ends up coming in, I'm like, okay, sure. And then next week, it's obviously Cash, Saliba, Shimikas for me in terms of selection. All 3 of them have got great fixtures. So I think it probably comes down to that a little bit. If you need a player to be playing for you in coming weeks and this week, I would probably prefer the choice to be Mark Gay of Crystal Palace. Ben Eddington says, morning mate, good luck this weekend, hope all goes well on Sunday. Thank you, Ben. Yes, of course, reminder, it's in the bio, link to tickets for tomorrow's live show. We are having a party, Forest v Villa, Luton v Liverpool, and then the Game Week 11 review podcast live with an audience at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. Thirsty Bear Pub, Central London, Blackfriars, Southwark Tube, Waterloo, all within walking distance. We're going to have some fun tomorrow. We've got Mark Southerns coming, Tom Cantle from Who Got the Assist, Harry Daniels, FPL Harry. Loads of people coming. Talking of which, whoever's doing on the Juice stream, yeah, tell everyone, please. Thank you. Reminder, live event tomorrow. Tell your people. Ash, I expect you to be there, mate. None of this, yeah, be there, mate. Mike says, hi, James. Can Trent cover Shimikas points? Can Trent cover Shimikas? Well, yeah, of course, but he costs 3.5 million more, mate. So, is that where it's at now? We're worried about Trent covering Shimikas' points. Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, the underlying data over the 3 games that Shimikas has played, I think, is it 3 or just 2, isn't it? They're pretty level. I've said this since Tsimikas got in the team, you can't really make the case to pay the extra for Trent at the moment. And for those who are just on Trent, what I'd be thinking of doing is getting Tsimikas in for Trent, Tsimikas in for someone else, playing them both, and then moving Trent on in a couple of weeks would be one way of doing it. Vivek Gore says, how about Foden as a pump for one game in place of Maddison if no other fires to put out? Yeah, I don't mind that, but again, if you've got one free transfer, it feels like a roll to me. And then the 2 free transfers is more powerful. I think a lot of people are probably going to be rolling this week. Pranav says, hello everybody. Hello James. Hello Pranav. Billy Taylor says, howdy Jimbo. Any objections to a cheeky triple caps on Haaland? No. I mean, if you're going to do it in a single game week, the fact that he's had the week off beforehand and it's a really attractive fixture and they're not the sort of opponent that, in a weird way, say like a Sheffield United or a Luton, they'd be just like, right, we're going to defend. Bournemouth, I don't know if they can do it. So, yeah, from that perspective, if you were going to do it in a single game week, like, I don't mind this, but the reality is game week 20 he's got Sheffield United at home and probably got another fixture. That would be my objection. So it's 2 chances, isn't it? It's 2 chances. They won this fixture 4-0 last year, and I think it was the only game in the first 9 or 10 that he didn't score remarkably. Now, I think most of us will expect him to score today. If you really, really fancy it, I don't mind it. Like I said, the fact that he's had the week off beforehand, the fact that they played really well last week, the fact that the opponent is likely to be more open than most shit teams who'd go there, sure. But Burnley will also go there at some point as well. When's that fixture? When do Burnley go to Manchester City? Right, I'm on the case, I'm looking. Game week 22, which is kind of around FA Cup games and stuff. There is midweek fixtures after. That is a set of midweek fixtures, isn't it? But it's FA Cup full round the weekend before. I mean, that's fine as well. So there'll be other opportunities in terms of home games as well. If you really, really fancy it, I'm not going to say no. If you want to get it done in a single game week, and if you're looking at it now going, well, I think I might use it in 37 or something like that, I don't know. I just can't look beyond the 20 possibility as it stands at the moment. And also, it could land where Mo has a really good triple captaincy option if Liverpool get to the Carabao Cup final as well. I suspect that'll probably be Brentford away, Luton at home, if that happens. But it is a possibility, a small one, of Burnley at home and Luton at home. I think it would more. That's in 24. I think it would more likely be Brentford away, Luton at home 25. But yeah, for me, more information would be handy. Shout out Meninda Prahir, Ben Costin, Dan Wilch says, hi James, what is your gut feel on Udogie starting? Was going to get Darwin, but if Udogie is out, I'll just get Tsimikas. I can only tell you that from the way you've asked it, which is gut feel. My gut feel is that he probably won't start. That's based primarily on a tweet Paul O'Keefe sent the other day. He's got a bit of intel on Tottenham. And it seemed to suggest that the injury wasn't the injury that was picked up against Fulham. And he suggested it was likely 2 weeks. But he'd said that was he was 8 days in, which suggested that the injury was picked up on the Wednesday or the Thursday after the Fulham game. Therefore, that would rule him out till sort of midweek next week. Now, the game's Monday as well. So, could he play? Yeah. Ange said it's 50-50. I think it's probably more 40-60. I ain't going to be surprised if I get to stadium and Udogie's in the team. No way at all. Because if he's fit, he'll play. And there's no doubt about that. I slightly think it's more unlikely than likely. That's all I can say. Ben Edinson says, Porro to Gay. I ideally need a defender to play 11, 13 and 15. Then you've got really good fixtures as a trio there. Burnley, Luton, Bournemouth. Yeah, it's fine. That said, Porro has 3 home games there. Do you need to do it? That's all. We know you can look at the fixture and go, yep, defensively better, but Tottenham are also better than Palace. And one of these games, Pedro's going to smash one in. Aninda Das says, hi James, good luck on your game week, having a benching headache. Who do I bench from Martinelli, Pedro or Bowen? Not Bowen would be my take on that. I don't have João Pedro in my predicted Brighton lineup, but it would be no surprise if he's in it. I wouldn't be too expectant of points from Martinelli. I'd be totally honest, I would possibly punt playing Pedro and benching Martinelli. That does maybe sort of feel wrong. JP says, who has... I have João Pedro just underneath Saka, if that helps on the bench. So I guess, yeah, I would probably be on that, Pedro over Martinelli. JP says, who has the highest upside out of Gabriel, Lascelles, Maguire? Gabriel, I think. JP says, who would you sell to get Shimikas out of Porro trips? The thing is, there's such a money difference between the two. Then, like, what's your other moves, right? It's not. I don't think it's as straightforward as that. I think, honestly, and I know there's a few selling trips. If I was on, I would be very reluctant to move off trips at the moment. That would be my take. So I'm going to say Porro. Pranav says replacement through Doggy. Already have Shimikas, Cash, and still Rico Lewis. Wow, that's a mad one. Plan to roll the transfer with no good long-term defender found as replacement. Shimikas, Cash. I mean, it's probably an Arsenal player, but it's probably next week. Is the right answer, or maybe Palace now. But I think they could get beat today, to tell you the truth, Palace. So Lewis has got to go, but it arguably Shimikas. It'd be handy to know who your other defender was, Pranav, because that's important. Like who's coming in the team if Udoggy's unavailable, so that's going to have an impact for you. Oh, JP's added on Sky FF. Would you get Shimikas out of Porro trips? You could make a case to get Shimikas in for Trippier tomorrow in Sky. Yes. Voyas says, in a bit of a dilemma, 2 free transfers. My plan is to do Gabriel, Madders, Alvarez to a 4.0 Saka, Nunes, but feels like I should do this over 2 weeks to avoid hit. Which one do you think I should make this week? Why would you want to sell Alvarez this week? Honestly. I get you want Nunes. Cool. Wicked. What? Alvarez is not capable of going off today. I wish Darwin Nunes was sitting in my team as well. Be honest, if I oh my god, I've got to get Nunes. I'd sell Watkins. I wouldn't sell Alvarez this week. So I can't really support that, to be honest. Saka, I don't feel the right week. 2 FTs. I mean, to be honest, if you're not intending to start Gabriel and you don't want to waste the transfer, get Gabriel down, but you want Gabriel next week. Rough. That's the only one I could think. Maddison to Saka this week doesn't particularly make sense. Unless, if you're sitting anything, right, Maddison blanks, do you know what? I want Saka in early. People will invest in him over the next week. Fine, maybe that one. I'll not sell Alvarez this week. Pip says, yo, James, hope you're well. Would you do Neto to a Dinger or Gordon, or just play Taylor and roll? I would need the 5th mid to be playing most weeks. Cheers. Look, I know Neto said he'd be back in a couple of weeks and he's hopeful of making the Fulham game in Gameweek 13. I'd say that's wishful thinking. And then it's Arsenal away in 14. So, to be honest, if I had Neto, I'd sell it. Preference of the two, I really like the Adingra punt. And I think it lines up nicely to move to Palmer later. I'm going to say Adingra. To be honest, if you're in a position where you're going to roll with Neto, then have Adingra. I'm going to presume your squad's fairly strong. Vivek Gore says, pick one to start from Porro and Burn. Preference with Porro. I've got Udoggy above Burn on the bench in dilemmas. Liam H says, what do you think of Delhi return rumours? Rumours, mate, and it's not going to happen. So, I've heard this before. It's sentimental and all that. Like, let's be honest. He'll struggle to get in the Everton team when he's fit. You wish him all the best, of course. But he'll struggle to get in the Everton team. He's not getting anywhere near the Tottenham team. He can't press anymore. So it's off the table. Like, it's nice. Obviously, I want him to do well. I want him to play for Everton. I want Tottenham to cancel the agreement where they're going to get a certain amount of money if he plays games for Everton because he needs to play football. Gavin Richardson, what would be better is if Tottenham said, do you know what? We'll remove this, but in return we want first option on players at a discounted price in the future or something like that. Gavin Richardson says, morning all, has everyone got their best Sunday suit clean for tomorrow? I'm not going suited. Should I go suited? Shall I wear a suit tomorrow? Maybe just suit jacket. Might do. Suj will kill me. Suj will rock up in like a t-shirt with holes in it. Hi, boss. Hope you're well. Love you. Get a roving mic. Get some name tags. JP says, who would you sell to get Shimikas out of Porro trips on Sky? We've done this, JP. Alex says, hello, James. Solanke and Luis Diaz to Watkins and the Dingra from -4. Can't get to any of the 6.5 mids if I go to Darwin. Only Gordon, Huang, or a punt on Eze. Feels like, I don't want to say the moment's gone with Watkins, but if you weren't on the last couple of weeks and you weren't on last week, I'd arguably just keep going against it. So, to be honest with you, I prefer the Nunes move and go with one of the cheaper mids. JP says, when to bring in Nunes on Sky? Well, if you're going to do it, tomorrow, pal. Ben Costin says, hi, mate. Thoughts on Saka for Foden? The transfer Saka back in next week for Foden, have a decent bench. Ben, if you're in a luxury position where you can make that move for 1 week and go back, all praise to you, mate. Crack on. FPL Andy says, morning, James. Porro to Shimikas, my likely move. Good luck. Hanu Mikola says, just a quick thank you for the best deadline stream. Thank you, Hanu. Have a great day. And yeah, smash a like, everyone. It's about 20% of you have done it. Don't cost anything. Means a lot to the channel if you can. Comments as well. Like, oh, great stream. All that. Yeah, cheers, mate. Shout out to my man, Immortal Technique. Cheers, mate. I think you're a man. Golazzo says, hey, James, Porro to Shimikas was a better long-term replacement. Now, I think it's last chance to get Shimikas, mate. Just get it done. Robertson would think he's not going to be back till maybe sort of game week 21-ish. Get it done. LH says, Sky question, mate. Best replacement for Colwell, sub 8 million. Cheers. Christian Romero, I think, but doesn't make sense. So maybe looking at something next week. Yeah, it doesn't, because they're playing Monday, doesn't really make sense. Then Man City Sunday, so you can't come off either. Yeah, awkward one. Romero, Dunk, Shimikas. There's a number there. Probably that order. Oh, no, you can't get Dunk, can you? He's a little bit more. Romero, then Shimikas, I think, mate. James Brennan says, hi, James. -4 for Botman and Diaby to Mitoma and Stones, or just one of the moves for free. Have Gabriel doggy trips better to have some defensive issues. Thanks. Yeah, just sell Botman for free, mate, to be honest. Diaby, I haven't even gotten the bench in dilemmas. Just assume you'd play him at Forest tomorrow. I was conscious of that. I've not even put him on there. I don't know why people would want to bench him tomorrow. I'd play him over the likes of Saka this week. So, yeah, just the Botman move, mate. Pete Haley says, hi, James. Best 1 week punt from mid. Got 7.7 mid. Have Saka, Son, Maddison already. Cheers. It's Phil Foden, isn't it? I think, yeah. Dragon Josiowski says, 2 free transfers, 0 in the bank with Solanke priority out. Downgrade to Calvert-Lewin and Ketcher, or do Solanke and Bowen or Maddison to Darwin and a Dingra. Yeah, I like the Darwin move, to be honest. At this stage, I'd possibly sell Maddison rather than Bowen. Ugly that though. Ryan Renfrey, hello my friend. Welcome back to Patreon. Says 0.1 million in the bank. 2 free transfers. Porro to Big Tasty. JWP to Mitoma, leaving enough for Maddison to Saka for next week. Yeah, I don't mind that. Just check back on yourself though, Ryan, in terms of your planning for game week 18, as kind of discussed on the podcast yesterday. And do you need Lascelles? And we don't know the Botman circumstance. Is that going to be, what I mean is that going to be a problem for you? And it's 8 weeks away, but it's 6 weeks away, if that makes sense. It will soon come round. So, yeah, just have a consciousness of that. That's probably a problem for me. It might not be a problem for you looking further afield. So just consider that. LP says, hi, James. Had Neto as a 5th mid-rotation option. Worth moving for Huang or Roll and playing Ketcher Gabriel this week. All the best for the live show on Sunday. Cheers. Thanks, LP. Yeah, I spoke about not concerns about Huang, but just he might have to play wide and it might not be good for him. But look, he's got Sheffield United this week. He's on really good form. As said, if I was a Neto owner, I would be selling personally. Raymond Reddington says, hi, James. Who is the best Diaz replacement? Or should I just keep him and hope he plays? This is a really, really, really difficult one. Sorry, Gavin, I missed your question. I will get to you. The thing is, if you knew he was going to play, you want to play him, right? That's clear as day. You definitely want to play him. We'd have to think, though, at some stage, he's either going to take some time off, go and see his family, touch wood, to get his dad back and stuff. It's probably going to be something that is a problem at some stage, even if it's not this week. It's tough. I would probably move it. But the only one I'd want to move it to this week is probably Foden. And I don't know if that's the right call longer term. There are definitely replacements you could look at next week that would be more interesting to look at next week. Like Bowen, for example, Mitoma, there's a few. Maybe Mitoma now, if you don't have. So I do think there'll be goals in that game today. Gavin Richardson says, hi James, there's a McDonald's opposite the pub tomorrow. As McDonald's are not selling the sales at the moment, what's your current go-to on the menu? There's not a McDonald's opposite the pub. I really don't think there is, Gavin, unless I'm blind and I've been there twice in the last month. I don't think there is. My go-to McDonald's is a double quarter pounder is my go-to these days. Rob says, Sky question, only own Haaland from City today. Do you think I need extra City coverage? Have no injury suspension, so wouldn't involve a fixture gain. 6.9k, 41 transfers. Appreciate the content. Nah, it's a sit still, Rob. There's no reason to, with 99.9 that Haaland will play today, right? So, no, you're fine, mate. Meninda says, any recommendations for Diaz owners, please? Got 0.6 in the bank, 1 free transfer, thinking Diaz to Saka, Watkins to Darwin, but -4 doesn't feel right. No, he doesn't. Diaz and Watkins out with Luton and Forest, respectively, from -4 if he does play. As kind of covered, Meninda, it's really awkward. Suj has got him as well. And I don't know what Suj is going to... I think Suj will end up going to Foden for 1 week. That's what I think he'll probably do. I think across the fixtures, it might just be a go... The timing-wise for this week, Mitoma probably feels like the right call in terms of getting something for good fixtures and this week. And it also puts a bit of money in the bank. Penguin says, hi mate, thoughts on Darwin in for Watkins to make a difference in my mini league. Most of my competitors have Alvarez and Haaland. I have Watkins and Haaland. Just feel that Darwin will smash it. Sure, I get that. I feel that too. I do. I agree with you. But I can't do that. I don't think. Not at the moment. No, I mean, Watkins still got Fulham at home this week. Next week, sorry. And I realise Nunes is a decent fixture as well next week. No, it's more power and rolling. I think, like, if you're in proper luxury mode with your team, like, say you've just wildcard and you're like, I really got no clue what to do, then, okay, cool. Downstairs says, morning legend, which two of Nketiah, Dingra, Gordon would you start this week? Thanks for another awesome week. Best of luck for the game week. And hey, everyone, don't forget to smash a like. I'd probably, and Adingra and Nketiah, I think, just a little preference for Nketiah over Gordon because of positioning, something fall to him in the box and stuff. That would be the preference. Dion Chung says, morning, James. Do you rate Eze for the next 5? Would rather stick with Ward-Prowse for the next 4 or so. If I knew that Eze was going to start today, I'd say good luck to you. Get on with it. Because their next 5 are great. I think it's probably close enough, though, that you're better off just hold fire, wait, take in the information. There's also a reluctance to buy a player when they come back from injury. You don't know if he's been rushed, for example. So I think it's a wait at the moment. Colin Con says, hit the like button, guys. It's free. Yes, hit the like button. It's there. Ryan Terry says, hi, James. Happy to delete the question if I see it on your benching headaches. But would you play a Dinger or Visser this week? Another option is moving Visser to Nketiah for free and playing him. I'd play Visser. I think with Edson Alvarez out, it could be a difficult day for West Ham. So, yeah, I would play Visser, mate. I'd definitely make that move next week, though, by the way. And Ketcher's probably top of the shops for me in terms of likely transfer next week. Frankie says, first in my mini league is pulling away. He has Darwin and not Watkins. Should I take -4 to get Darwin? Or is Watkins just enough on his own? Cheers. I wouldn't take a -4 to do that. 3, if you're in luxury position, I can understand it. -4, no. Murphy says, hi James, 2 free transfers and 0 in the bank, but don't have a move I'm desperate to make. Is Gordon to a Dingra/Hwang or Porro to Gay 8 Nori better than burning a transfer? Yeah, don't burn a transfer. I would probably do the Porro one. But again, it depends what you need and when you need it for forthcoming weeks based on the other defenders in your squad. The Wadler GG says, hi James, thanks for your stream. Which Fulham defender would you prefer? And would you prefer 8 Nori instead over both teams' better fixtures? Yeah, I can't see why Fulham would be the appeal there. Wolves at home 13, Forest at home 15. Sure, Burnley 18. To be honest, if I had to go for Fulham, I'd just go for Tim Ream. Because with Kene Tete being close to being back, he's the only one I'd be really, really confident definitely plays. And I don't think the fullbacks offer enough offensively to get truly excited about. So I'd probably go Ream. But you might find that Ray and 8 Nori playing... I want to say it's a defensive left mid, but it is left mid I would prefer at this moment in time. But again, it depends when you need it. If you want it for I was going to say if you want it for 14, Wolves go to Arsenal, Fulham go to Liverpool, so you're damned anyway. Preference would be 8 Nori if I was making that move. Andy Martin, my buddy's in, says, good morning, you lovely man. 1 week Diaz replacement before I move him on to an Arsenal mid. And that's Mr. Phil Foden, I think, Andy. Good result last night, pal. Well done. Atul Balaji says, nice seeing you, James. If we get 400 likes on this stream, would you sing us a song at the end? Yeah, sure. Yeah, smash a like. As soon as it hits 400 likes, I'll sing a song. I even know what song I'll sing. Nigel Sam says, good luck, James. Would you replace Udogi with Palace or a Wolves defender? And if so, which one? Also, if there a way to watch and support the live show for those of us who can't make it. Look, I'm leaving Udogi there at the moment. It does help that I'm sitting there with Sam Johnston. I think it's worth saying I'm going to play pretty much every week, bar maybe game week 14. And I can make a choice between Johnston at West Ham or Turner against Everton when I get there. In terms of tomorrow, what I said on the podcast yesterday, and I know people want to contribute, and obviously all the money from the ticket sales, £5 a ticket, all the money is going to go to the Game Week 39 fundraiser next year, the North v South FPL Community Football match. We're going to match whatever total we raise. So whatever it is, we'll double it basically, right? And so I had joked yesterday. I was like, we'll buy tickets tomorrow. But you can't buy tickets on the same Monday. They'll close on Sunday. But if you buy the tickets tomorrow after the show starts, that's what I'd appreciate. Purely so what we want to do in the morning is gather a list of everyone who's coming, right? So we don't want to, well, what's happened to this person? Does it make sense? So once we kind of started and the football started, if you want to donate your £5 tomorrow, do it, because whatever's in there at the end, we'll match it. So if every single one of you put in a fiver, we're spending a lot of money and that money's all going to charity. If that's what you want to do, praise to you. If you don't want to donate to charity and you want to give us £5 and you can't come tomorrow, sign up to Basic Plus tier on Patreon. There's alternatives for you if you want to donate some cash. Only donate what you can afford to, obviously. But yeah, if you really want to do that tomorrow, if you could do it after 2 o'clock, that would be hugely appreciated. Nigel Sam, that's what we've done. Thank you, Nigel. Good question, mate. Such as in says morning. Andrew Jarvis says morning, James. No question this week. Rolling. But we want to ask everyone to smash a like. Good luck for the game week. Thanks, Jarvo. Try and sort out the 56 this week. Yeah, mate. Michael Scott says, oh my God, I've lost my place on the... It wasn't someone telling me Salah's not playing. Jokes. It's tomorrow. Obviously, don't have that information. I saw people worrying because he started at Bournemouth the other night. I was like, what are you worrying about? Honestly. Michael Scott says, morning, James. Starting Ketcher or Palmer? I think and Ketcher just it's kind of penalties versus positioning, isn't it? And Ketcher. By the way, you might noticed on my predicted Chelsea lineup, which you should see on screen in a second, I'm predicting Chelsea to play back 5 tomorrow. On Monday, sorry. Penguin says, good luck tomorrow at the pub. We'll be sending you good energy from Colombia. Please pray for Diaz's dad. Cheers. Pray for Luis Diaz and his dad and the family. Yes, I think we all do, mate. Sweet Blue says, hi, James. What would you do with Diaz? Do you think it's a case of either start or doesn't feature? I'm leaning towards starting him with Porro first sub, but really not sure. That feels ideal. You've got a good first sub there. That feels kind of ideal scenario. I think if you're not in that luxury position, it probably is a sell. Kets and Chopper says Doku and Archer to McAtee and DCL. I don't mind that if they are moves for free. BP says, good morning, James. I need to play one of Charlie Taylor, Gabriel or Burn. Who would you pick to start? It's Burn, mate. They're all on the bench in dilemmas. There you go. Sweet Blue says, and enjoy the live event. All who's going gutted, I can't make it. Thank you, pal. Southampton Susie says, definitely playing Shimikas and Pau Torres. Do I play Gabriel or Soufal as my third defender? I feel like the right answer is probably Soufal, but based on my predictions, I think I've got to say Gabriel, haven't I? Ben Edinson says, Sky question, Silva to Mitoma. Forgot to do it last week. And then Diaby to Silva, December the 10th. Thoughts they would most likely be my only moves until overhaul. So December the 10th, that midweek game, there's a lot of games in between. It's 2 moves, so roundabouts for Silva. Is that worth it? And you're still keeping Diaby. I'm not sure I would. I'm not sure it's close. I'm not sure, Ben. Not sure at all, to be honest on that. Not sure. Thiago Silva could still pick passing tiers at some of these games. Probably not Monday, not against City, but and probably not against Brighton. Newcastle we might, subject to how the game goes. Manchester United away probably will. MRCX is morning, James. What players are you looking to get in the next couple of weeks? So I'm quite relaxed at the moment. Relatively happy with the majority of the team. I think, as I said, Nketiah's the most likely one for me next week. But it does create a chain of possible problems, actually. It will look great for the few weeks, but then the manipulation from Nketiah to Gameweek 18 might look a little bit ugly for me. And I need to make a decision on that this week. So it's him. I think if Estupiñán can get himself fit, he's right on radar. It's probably an Arsenal player first and foremost for me. There's certainly a consciousness about Liverpool over this period as well. I've got no attacking players tomorrow, and I was going to say I'd hide behind the sofa, but I'll just hide around the 60 to 80 people that are probably going to be in attendance tomorrow. No, I won't. I'll be standing at the front, actually. I'll have to, because otherwise I won't see, because I'm so bloody short, right? I'm open-minded about it at the moment. Open-minded. I have a real consciousness about 18, as I discussed very much on the podcast yesterday. So Villa, Newcastle, Tottenham are around my thinking very much. I'm pretty comfortable where I'm at. Gusto's a problem that's going to get sorted at some point. So very chilled about it at the moment. As I said, and Nketiah's my most likely move next week as it stands, probably for Alvarez. And then, God knows who I would bench next week. It's probably Maddison at Wolves. Who's next? Alistair Cope says, hey mate, you've got Pedro ahead of Palmer on the bench dilemmas, but you've not predicted Pedro to start for Brighton. Struggling to decide for my team and not sure you've helped. Haha, any reasoning? Yeah, well, there's minutes there, and I think there'll be goals in the game, and I predicted Chelsea not to score, so that's part of the thinking, mate. I think I'd just punt it. Plus, also, it's okay. If I told you now Pedro was going to start, you'd play him, wouldn't you? So it's almost as much as my prediction could be wrong of factoring that in as well. Paul Knight says, would you play Lamptey or Saka? Thanks, James. Saka, mate. It doesn't offer huge attacking. I know it's great on the eye. He's rapid, fast, and all that. He doesn't offer great threat, Lamptey. There's no guarantee he plays. Saka, mate. Mark Burns says, forgive if I'm missing it. Porro or Gabriel, both on the bench in dilemmas, literally just covered. Wedgex says, well, kind of similar. Gabriel's lower, put it that way. Wedgex says, bench boost, returner, Saka, Trippier, Taylor, thanks. No. Is it inconceivable that Newcastle and Arsenal's 1-1, they both miss, and the others, Burnley concede and Forest concede? That's not enough this week. Presumably, I don't know what you've got in the rest of your team. Is it not going to look better next week? FPL Borat says, wah, James. I hope I said that right. Udogi to Shimikas for a -4. Should just bench for Archer Lamptey. It's not bench anyway, it's play. It's play. I don't like -4s. But, again, this is one where you'd say, I'd look at it and say, can you make that transfer for free next week? You go, no, I want to do other things next week. Fine, take the -4. Lincoln Begg says, hey James, how you been? Very well, thank you. Best Neto replacement under 5.8 or just roll and play Charlie Taylor? No, it's a sell. It's Simon Odingra is the shout. Lincoln Begg says, hey James, how you been? Best Neto replacement under 5.8 or just play Charlie Taylor? It was such a good question, I thought I'd read it twice. George Nibbs says, morning James, start Region or Taylor? Region. Jeez. NJ says, hey James, thoughts on Tottenham defence? Van der Ven for next few weeks, worth free transfer to Matty Cash. Again, to Cash now. If you're on Mickey, I'd probably just leave it. Like, it's more upside with Cash and all that. I'd just leave it now, probably, I think. FPL Eze says, hey James, Trips versus Porro, my last decision. I see you predicted clean sheets for both. Which do you think has better attacking potential this week? For me, if I was free hitting this week, and sorry, apologies to the last person's question, but I probably still wouldn't do this, I would probably be Shimikas, Cash, Trippier. There's your answer. FPL Nazri says, morning James, not sure you will like this, but bench one, Trippier, Dallo, Porro or Saka. Yeah, I do. Dallo, mate. Mustafa says, hey James, good morning. Would you start Dean or Trippier alongside Cash and Shimikas? Trips. That's really tough. I think Trips, based on my predictions, the right call, isn't it? I think Dean is not going to badly hurt you. If, say, they did keep a clean sheet or he got attacking returns. I don't know. Are you fearful of that? Trips returns, if he does do well. As I said, kind of, if I was free hitting this week, it wouldn't be double Villa defence that I've Trips in. I don't have enough confidence in him. I do think Forest score tomorrow as well. Mustafa Mohammed says, hey James, good morning. Would you start Dean or Trippier alongside Cash and Shimikas? Again, it was so good I thought I'd read it twice. Lee Thompson says, hi James, would press to Eze or Adingra or roll Adingra? Dan Stairs says also, I'm assuming you'd prefer Areola this week over the goalkeeper options you've listed over Turner at the very least. God, why didn't I put Areola on the benching? That's fair. Like, why didn't I do that? Maybe I was just assuming that I'd play him over all of them. That might have been... I can't remember why now. I should have still put him there in any case anyway. I think it's probably that. I've not got any of them for clean sheets this week, so I'll just play Areola, I think. Snicko says, hey James, start Lamptey over Gabriel. Cheers, mate. It's a no from me. Daniel Zamata says, hi James, I can do Watkins to Haaland for free. Wow. Diaz is my issue. Make the transfer. Hope Diaz plays. Or get Haaland and a replacement for Diaz for -4. Or downgrade Diaz. Upgrade the third striker to Haaland. Wow. Yeah. I'd downgrade Diaz to cheap mid. Again, subject to what the rest of your team looks like, which I can't see. Yeah, wow. Yeah, I'd do it, I think. Yeah, you can get your third striker to Haaland from -4. Probably yes, I think. That's for anyone else thinking sell Salah. No. But in that circumstance, yeah, I mean, you must have shitloads sitting in the bank, mate. Fair game to you if you can do it. Here we go. Look, the FPL Juice Show. Morning, James. Looking forward to seeing you on Sunday. Yes, Juicer's in the house tomorrow. Mace G18 says, hey, James, thanks for the great content as usual. Bang up job. FPL, Wood-Prowse to Bowen, Mitoma, or just roll. Mitoma. Tropical says, Madison to Jota or Porro to Shimikas. Why? Well, if Diaz plays, Jota probably won't. So, there's your answer. Daniel Rigelski says, hi, regret that I won't be able to be at the live show. I'm a big fan. However, the distance from Poland is too big. That's just not good enough, Daniel. Get yourself on a plane. I have to play one of Lamptey, Lindelof, Burn. Which one you recommend? I'm going to say Dan Burn. I'm only joking, Daniel. No one expects you to get on a plane. And I hope I pronounce this correctly. Dobrze dziękuję. Andre Klim says, hi, James. Would you rather sell Burn or Udogi for 8 Nori or just roll? Team looks good for 12. Don't mind using the transfer this week. Roll, roll, roll your boat gently down the stream. Oh, I didn't even get 400 likes and I did part of the song. Scott Dunkley says, what would prioritise? Amduni to Nunes, Gabriel to Shimikas, or both from -4? Darwin Nunes, mate, would be the one. Yeah. John Doe, Gabriel Archer or Lamptey? Gabriel. Jerry Millin says, have you listened to the new Beatles song? No, unfortunately not. Patrons, if we do hear anything on team news, particularly in reference to Manchester City, I guess, excuse me, drop us a line. Gurath says, hey, keep Diaz or get Bruno for next free. Then swap in full team from Bumo or just get Szoboszlai. Don't buy Manchester United players. Zan Khan says, morning, sell Maddison to Foden or Szoboszlai or anyone else. Morning, sell Maddison to Foden or Szoboszlai or anyone else. I'm rolling, so... Will Shaw says, hey James, Pickford, Johnston and Udogi to Gay or Pickford to Areola and Botman to Gay. Both will be starters most weeks. Get rid of Botman, mate. AG says, hi James, 2 free transfers this week. Should I bring in Darwin for Alvarez? I'm not keen on that. Love him as an option, but love Alvarez as well for an option this week. Ethan Cobb says, Ward to Mbumo and Neto to Adingra. Ward to Mbumo. It's got to be Ward-Prowse, isn't it? If they're for free, sure. FPL Gold Galazzo, good morning, James, aka FPL Top Advisor. Have a smashing game. Smash the like button, you mags. Cheers, mate. Rhino says, morning, James. This isn't a joke. Start Bruno or Huang. No, look, if you've got Bruno, you start him. Fighter Jet says, hi, James. Raptor just said, share out with illness. Wow. Okay. Patrons, Newcastle channel, Slack. What are we hearing? Because I've no reason to doubt Raptor in any way. I just want some confirmation that Raptor did say it, rather than throw him under the bus in case he didn't say it. Just purely because none of my patrons have mentioned it. Okay, thanks for that, Cullum Con. It doesn't really tell us anything, so I'm not going to share that. And I don't think there's anything that unexpected, and certainly nothing that's going to impact FPL thinking. So thank you for that, though, mate. Russell Baker says, hi, James. Pedro or Adingra would you start? You have Pedro over Adingra and Gordon, but Gordon over Adingra and Adingra in your starting lineup. Is it the possible penalties? No, it's just João Pedro's more likelihood of... Look, I don't think the start... But if he does, that's the answer, isn't it? And good luck guessing with De Zerbi. And I think if you're in a position where you got Pedro and you're fearing it, like, what did you go there for? Because this will happen every single week. It's an attractive fixture. I think there'll be goals in the game. I would play him in many circumstances. And over Gordon, I'm predicting a 0-0. I would say I'd play João Pedro. Yes, it is confusing. But I did think about it. There is some logic there. Dave 2 says, hi, James. Have you tried the Frozen Whisper yet, pal? Have a great weekend, mate. No, I haven't. Thank you, Dave. I might do that drunk. Joseph Green says, morning, mate. Thoughts on taking Saka out for Szoboszlai, which will allow me to upgrade Mbama to Nketiah next week. I'm a Toon fan, so don't want Arsenal to do well this week. Yeah, but you probably want Bukayo Saka sitting there next week, mate. Ashley Middleton says, start Bowen or Saka right next to each other on the bench in dilemmas, mate. You'll find them on page 2. Dave 2 says, like the stream, folks. Thanks, Dave. Andrew Sands says, how thirsty is the bear? Tomorrow, I imagine he'll be pretty thirsty. Arabia Felix says, would you bench Maddison or Adingra? Again, both on the bench in dilemmas. The answer would be Adingra, mate. Another Hoop says, hi, mate. If your doggy doesn't start but he's benched, do you think he comes on for a cameo? No, I think play or he won't be involved. DCB says, great stream. Cheers, mate. James Haley says, morning, James. Ward-Prowse replacements. Douglas Louise, thanks. Yeah. That moment feels like it's past, right? Adingra, Gordon, Hwang, up to Mitoma. Spear Drop says, how many will Nunes get against Luton? 2 attacking returns. Gareth James says, great stream as ever, James. Good luck for the weekend and the live pod tomorrow. Any Spurs players you feel would be of mutual benefit for a loan to Cardiff in January? Yeah, Tanguy and Dombele, mate. You got the money? Because apparently Galatasaray want to send him back. Shock, horror, no surprise. Good question. If we get a centre back in January at the start, maybe Ashley Phillips. Simon Bibby, my Newcastle correspondent. Are you coming tomorrow, mate? Says, how bad was my fatty wildcard punt that he's not even mentioned on your bench in dilemmas? No, play him. I couldn't put everyone on there. And I presume the other 2 would be more popular as the questions have suggested. So in most cases, I'd probably play him, pal. And yes, hi, mate. DM me. Are you coming tomorrow, mate? Woodstock. I don't even know what country you're in at the moment. Chris Woodstock says, morning, James. Would you play Lamptey over Gabriel and Burn as a differential? Good luck and thanks, mate. No. James says, pick one to start, please. Taylor Lascelles or Gabriel. I mean, if Cher's out, that is rough news. Does potentially change. Hold that thought. Okay. Yeah, we do know that Cher missed Manchester United with illness on Wednesday, but Eddie Howe didn't suggest yesterday there was any problems. Right. I'm going to say, in any case, Gabriel for the offensive threat. Noel Brennan says, morning, James. Trippier and Semenyo out for Darwin and Baldock from -4. Not massively keen on the hit of removing trips there, mate. Craig Boy Crook says, morning, James. Palmer or Adingra. Been debating move all week. Can't decide. I can. Adingra. Jay says, would you play Turner or Pickford? God. Pickford. Probably won't make a difference. LJH67 says, hi, James. Do -4 and take Morris out for Edouard. Oh, my goodness. Palace's run is so nice regardless of their lack of creativity at the moment. Or -4 from injured Bell to Shimikas. I actually prefer the Shimikas move there for the -4. Gavin Richardson says, in the station opposite the pub, unless I'm thinking of the wrong pub. I'm definitely wearing my best jacket and jeans tomorrow. Which station? Well, Waterloo, yeah, but it's like it's a fair walk from Waterloo, mate. Owen Jones says, Porro and Solanke to Maguire and Darwin -4. Don't buy Maguire, mate. Haven't taken a hit all year, but tempted by 2 players that are always minutes worries. Don't, but if you're going to do that, just get someone even shitter than Maguire. Popey says, start any 2 of Trippier, Romero, Gordon. Trips and Gordon. Romero's 6-7, isn't it? Probably. Emmanuel Topo says, hey James, wishing you, that's if there's the clean sheet. Emmanuel Topo says, hey James, wishing you best for the live event. Thank you. Birth Media says, Edouard hat-trick today, maybe. Yeah, sure. Andrew Sands says, other hunch Matt Turner maybe dropped after the international break. It's just Areola enough, or do you people will move off him to Raya, Flecken, etc. Well, Raya can't play in 13 because he'd be in 12, sorry. No, yeah, 13 because he's ineligible. So nah, how often are you going to pick Turner over Areola? Being serious. What are we looking at? Game week 15, Turner goes to Fulham, Areola goes to Tottenham. Neither here nor there, really, is it? Game week 19, Areola goes to Arsenal, Turner goes to Newcastle. No, don't stress, just Areola, right? It's fine. Daniel Ferguson says, hi James, what's your thinking behind starting Udogie? My thinking is, I think Tottenham Chelsea will be low scoring. I think Newcastle Arsenal will be low scoring. My thinking on starting him is he's a decent attacking threat if he's in the team. To go, there's potential upside on that. It's literally that. I think he's more unlikely to play than likely. Emmanuel Topo says, question series, what would James give up for a Spurs League title? Head full of hair. No. I mean, hang on. I don't have any hair. I've already given it up. Where's my league title? Listen, it's everything by them two in there, right? And my mum and dad. Love you guys. Like, take everything else away from my life. These questions are pointless. The answer is Spurs League title. Metsu says cash or Gvardiol. Cash. Oh no. Well, I wouldn't buy Gvardiol, but if I owned him, I'd start him. And that probably goes for any Man City defender this week, I suppose. Patrons, if we got anything tags at this late stage, please. And Flecken or Areola. This week I play Flecken. Owen Jones says, have a great time at the live show. James, love your content. Thank you very much. JS says, Eze back for Palace, but he's Hodgson too defensive for FPL punts. Despite Palace' great fixture run starting this game week. They'll probably open up a little bit more in some of these fixtures. Don't judge them on sitting behind the ball against Tottenham and not pressing. But I just wouldn't punt it just yet. Ben Edinson says, Sarr looking interesting at 4.3 now. Or does Bentancur take his place as soon as it's fit? Sarr is not 4.3. I think it's 4.6. Bentancur could take his place. He won't on Monday, but he could do in forthcoming weeks. It is a possibility. But he's playing great, perhaps. I wouldn't invest from FPL now at this stage. Now Rod is back. Michael Johnson, thanks for the hard work, James. You're very welcome. Edward, if you're going to respond, tag to people, please, or even tag to me. Daniel Cullerton said, would you start Dan Burn or Charlie Taylor? It's Dan Burn. Leonard Ho, Captain Trent, don't hate it. Thomas Nielsen says, bench Saka or Ferguson. I'm going to say Saka. Mustafa says, hey James, good morning. Would you start Dean or Trippett? We've done this one. Emma says, cashed in on Bowen for a punt on Hwang. Nunes captain, week 11 could be a crash and burn. Wish you luck, Emma. Dan Stairs said, would love to join you at the pub tomorrow, but just not possible for me, unfortunately. We'll be buying a ticket at 2 p.m. to help out nonetheless. Excellent idea. Have a great time. Thank you, Dan. Aaron Hill says, bench Diaby or Mitoma. God, that's rough. Alistair Hargreaves says, no questions today, James. Good luck all and thanks for the content. Thank you. Arnav says, would you start Gabriel or Gordon? Josh Nice says, hi James, good luck this game. It's smash a like and wants to say up the toffees. Good luck, Josh. Alan M says, hi James, similar Sky question. Silver and Elliot Anderson to Duncan McTominay or Mitoma Shimikas. Definitely Dunk and then Shimikas, to be honest. Wouldn't go McTominay. Leonard Ho says, Captain Trent over Salah. No Haaland. Not for me, mate. Dave 2 says, like the stream, folks. Thank you, Dave. Daniel Olsen says, would you start Nketiah or Palmer? Nketiah, we did this one. Devonshire Hill Lad says, United we stand have tweeted Rashford and the injury doubt for today. If anyone still has him, thanks for your insight in the deadline stream, mate. And up the Spurs. Thank you, Devonshire Hill, for sharing the potential source on that. Thank you. Bouncy Castle, Rashford late fitness test. Thank you. Alex Campbell, start Shimikas or Trippier. Is Shimikas with that fixture? Sweet Blue says, come on people, like the stream. Get your alternate accounts in or whatever. We need this song. I don't think you're getting your song, mate. Fighter Jet says, morning James. FPO Andy just said Rashford could be out of injury. That's enough sources to suggest that's a problem. One Mad Chef says bench Hwang, Saka or Madison. Saka. Leonard, we've done it. Stop with the repeat questions, just denying other people, mate. Thank you, Dave 2. Got the message. Corful Keen says, hi James, should I downgrade Trippier to Shimikas so I can upgrade Palmer to Mbeumo for -4? Yeah, but I'd save the -4 for next. No, you wouldn't save it for no, let Mbeumo go. Arnav says, hey James, which two would you play out of Gabriel Gordon Gay? I'm playing Gay, I think, with a fixture, and I No, I'm not. I'm playing Gordon. Arnav, I've done it, mate. Matthew Hall says, Porro Burn to Shimikas for free or burn a transfer. Nah, for free. Get it done. Guilty Beast, Madders, Bowen or Mitoma. From that, I'd be benching very reluctantly Bowen. Hivas9 says, hi James, Martinelli or Palmer this week. Cheers. Martinelli. Chris Duckworth, morning mate, have a great live show tomorrow. Gutted I can't make it, but baby number 2 arriving Monday, so a no-go for me. Good luck, Chris. Keep us in a no. Love you, pal. Daniel Lank says Romero, Saliba or Trippier, start 2 of 3. I'd bench Saliba out of that. Jens Sveen says Branthwaite or Burn to start. Burn. And also, good luck this week. Thank you, mate. DTAF says, I tried the Frozen Whisper after hearing a suggestion here. Massively overrated. What am I missing? Nearly broke my teeth. Yeah, I'm doing it drunk. Jonah05, Ward Prowse to Mbumo. 3, sure. Don't mind. That is Deadline, guys. Sorry to those I didn't get to, which is nearly all of you. I'll answer them anyway. Mr. Face said Maddison to Foden for 3. No. Daniel Ferguson, I did that. Zubin says, hi James. I would have done Porro over Soufal. Shamir, no, I wouldn't have captained Alvarez. Nikolai, I'd have dropped Saka. Sean, I'm ranked 750k-ish roughly at the moment. I discussed free hit on yesterday's podcast. I really recommend that podcast yesterday. We discussed the prospect of a free hit in Game Week 18. Daniel, it would have been Udogi. JS, you're welcome. Dave Lister, you're welcome. B, you're welcome. Ryan says good luck, everyone. If anybody's got any non-FPL questions, smash them in the chat now. I'll cover them off for 15 minutes or so. As a reminder, live show tomorrow, Thirsty Bear, Central London, short walk from Blackfriars, Southwark and Waterloo train stations, Southwark Tube Station on the Jubilee line. Forest v Villa. See Mark Southern sweat watching Forest. Luton v Liverpool. Watch non-Salah owners sweat. Then live, which includes me. Then live podcast at 7 o'clock reviewing all that's going to happen over the next 30 hours or so. Again, if you want to buy tickets and can't come, do it after 2 o'clock tomorrow. If you can, link is in the bio. We've got a really good crowd coming. It's going to be a party. Tickets are £5. All the money gets donated to the Gameweek 39 charity fund, and we will match whatever total is raised as well. Alternatively, you can also support Planet FPL at www.patreon.com/Planet FPL. I haven't thought too much about the schedule this week, but I can promise Money in Football this week will be on Sheffield Wednesday, and their chairman, who's a little bit round the bend, to be totally honest. Our content this week will be, as long as everything goes well tomorrow, on Monday we will release the audio and the video from the live show tomorrow on Monday, if everything goes well. Tuesday, I haven't decided yet. Wednesday will be Sky. This week's Clash of Correspondents on Thursday is Brighton versus Sheffield United with Sam Murray and Ben Tomo Thompson. Sam Murray will be in attendance at the live show tomorrow as well. Next Friday, most likely will be not the Deadline stream, purely because I am going to be unavailable for the Deadline stream next Saturday. For those of you paying attention, you can guess where I'll be. Yes, I will be in Wolverhampton next Saturday morning. Come on, you Spurs. So no Deadline stream next Saturday. I will do not the Deadline stream with all the graphics next Friday. Time to be confirmed. Schedule will probably go out Monday morning because I'll probably be too drunk tomorrow night to remember to tweet it out. But yeah, buy your tickets for tomorrow, guys. Support the show at Patreon. That's it. Might do Ask James Tuesday. Maybe, actually. Thinking about it. Possibly. Might do. I'll think about it. Might just save me some trouble, I think. And not have to think too much after Sunday. Right, let's do non-FPL songs. FPL songs. Questions. Pete Haley says, where's the predicted scores and how much do you think Ivan Toney should be sold for? Has it not been going round? I'll soon put it on the screen for you, mate. It's easy done. They're there. I don't know why that was happening, so apologies. But it'll be there now. Do you think Ivan Toney should be sold for? Surely he's the second best striker in the league. It's up to Tony, right? Might want to stay at Brentford for all we know. I think he's going to end up at Arsenal. There you go, for what it's worth. Adsul Balaji says, what song would you have sung? Don't tell me it's a Spurs song, please. No. I'll tell you what, Adsul. Because it's now November and it's coming soon, I was going to sing you a Christmas song. Right? Should I do it? Should I do it? Last Christmas I gave you my heart, but the very next day you gave it away. So this year, to save me from tears, I'll give it to Postecoglou. Andrew Sand says you can only have one of these for the rest of your life. Cheese, beer, meat. Meat, probably. Bad answer. Steve says, any further details released regarding the whole Everton saga and points deduction? No, we should expect something soon, but that soon might not be till a month or so. It's possible. But we should certainly hear... look, Simon Bibby's just messaged me. Our Newcastle correspondent says 90% coming to the meet-up tomorrow. Well, find your other 10% and I'll see you there, mate. Steve said, no, not yet. Not yet. I think it'll be minor. I think if there's a points deduction, it'll be small, like 3 points or so, I think. Dave Lister says, come on you Spurs. Attle says, how strong should the punishment be for Everton, given this is the first punishment given out for FFP reasons? I don't know if it's for me to say, right? I don't know. I feel like they should definitely be punished if they've broken as clearly as it looks like it may be. Because they were putting their COVID losses at a lot higher than what similar clubs were doing, etc. I also think part of that might have been due to the fact they had an asset that they could no longer use, who had to leave the football club. And that was possibly his value that they were throwing in there, and that might be part of their argument. So I don't know. Let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. I think a small points deduction, if they would, I don't say falsifying as such, but let's say exaggerated what their losses were via COVID and stuff, then sure, yeah, punish them. And to be honest, I don't think 3 points is going to bother Everton too much this year. I'm very uncomfortable with points deductions during the season. And I know it's something that's obviously been happening a lot in the EFL, but it doesn't sit right with me, points deductions during the season. If you start the season, right, you're minus 12 at the start or something. Everybody knows the playing field. I'm really uncomfortable with it happening during the season, to be honest. So I'd almost rather, say if the punishment was bigger, they just went, right, do you know what? Let's say they decided 6 points. Start next season, minus 6. I'd almost rather that. Partly as well, I think Everton will probably stay up by more than 6 points this year. So Everton would be better off. This would be the ideal year for Everton to get the deduction, I think. Because they could get the deduction this year and possibly still stay up the way it's looking. Whereas that might not have been the case in other years, right? So it could work out that he's just mad lucky for him as well. But I don't think it's... I can't say what the punishment is that they'd deserve on one charge. But it's going to set a precedent one way or the other. Like if they do get, say, a big points deduction and a big fine, then the talk's going to hype about Manchester City. But as I said the other week, you ain't going to hear about the Man City thing for years. Forget it, guys. Probably summer 2025 at the earliest, I think. And I think, by the way, that's one they'll have to make a decision in an off-season. Particularly if it's going to be a potential relegation, which we don't know. Patrick Lawson says, who do you think will finish 11th in the league this season? As it stands, I will go for Brentford. Will Shaw says, do you follow any price change sites that seemingly wildly inaccurate recently? Do you think this is due to all the active wild cards and will now be better going forward? Listen, I'm loath to criticise these sites because they do the best, right? No one's trying to mislead or anything. They're trying to, and they give us an accuracy idea that nothing else can, right? So... I mean, for me, generally, I tend to use statistics, and if anything's kind of above 90%-ish in terms of likely change, then that's enough to say, okay, stuff can happen here. Birth Media says, what's a frozen whisper from South Africa? Well, a whisper is like a fused shit chocolate bar, and I guess frozen would be putting it in the freezer. DTF, do we have to do FPL? I watched a pod by the guys at Green Arrows. They equated getting team leaks to cheating. Interesting discussion. What's your opinion, James? No, it's just information. Let me sell it a different way, and it's fine that the guys have that opinion. But let's look at what we've just heard about Rashford, right? So not everyone's going to have that information, right? but he's a potential doubt because of injury. Is that... I don't know. Is that cheating, really? What if you didn't do your research on a Friday, right? What if you didn't dig into the Burnley team news that Lyle Foster was still ill? Like, is that cheating? Or have you used your sources and contacts? That would be more my take, to be honest. Here's my friend Immortal Tretnik. Says, hi, James. Thanks for the shout out and all the great content. Yes, I'm a bloke and a Chelsea fan. So wish you no luck on Monday. Oh, my God. I really like you as well. That's such a shame. Really sorry about that, by the way. Sean says, do you Spurs still have a fanzine and do you buy it? I write for United We Stand, not to the confused with a silly YouTube channel with a similar name. Interested to know how other fanzines are doing. I think if there is, it's probably online. No, I think probably it must be someone still doing something like that, though. So many have just kind of turned to blogs and stuff now, to be honest. Shani Russell says, Green Arrow is the best pod after Planet FPL. Rich Clark is a legend. All the guys on there are wicked as well, and they are great. Dave Lister says, the racist song Wonderwall or Don't Look Back in Anger. Nah, I'm not doing it. Sorry, Cyrus. Daniel Cullerton says, random, but what were your thoughts of Andy Reid as a Spurs player? Andy Reid was meant to be the dogs. And fortunately, we got Michael Dawson out of the deal. He could play, like, technically decent delivery, good passer. Fitness was an issue. He looked, I don't want to say overweight, but he was quite stocky, wasn't he? He was unfortunate with injuries with us as well. Like, it wasn't dislikable in any sense. He was all right. He wasn't what people were hoping he was going to be, though. Shani Rassel says, no question, Roy transfer. Reminder for all the freeloaders to drop a like. Dave Lister, top of the league. Yeah, John T says, Haaland triple, let's go. Good luck. D-Taff, yeah. John Cahill says, the Cockney Tom Jones. Come on, James. Sean says, do you think United is broken beyond repair at this point? I do, personally. I hope they keep Ten Hag, regardless of results, and let the place rot. These players can't run the asylum anymore. Repeat what I said on stream on Thursday. If he's lost the dressing room, it is inevitable what will happen. I know the principal idea of keep him, etc. If the players are with him, don't sack him. That would be my take. But if he's lost the dressing room, it's game over. It is inevitable what will happen. Pete Haley says, sorry, I meant how much should Tony be sold for? Oh, I'd said this while at 80 million. Which me and Suj had a big debate about on a podcast some time ago. Yeah, that was the fee I said, 80 million. Nicky Kassam says, went to the NFL at White Lane recently and annoyingly they weren't serving one of our own. Have you tried it? Better or worse than neck oil? No, I haven't tried it, to be totally honest, mate. Noel Brennan says, we'll make a collection if you promise not to sing again. Attal says, you should sing more, James. And on Everton, I actually kind of like them, but if the punishment isn't strong, then FFP would officially be a joke. Russell Baker says, Everton may appeal, so probably next year, I think. But it's similar to administration, in my opinion. So I think a -9 is fair, but without a fine. But that is an option without any knowledge. Sean says, how come we won't hear about City until 2025 earliest, in your opinion? Because they have the money to lawyer up. Seems ludicrous if they punish Everton, yet City just continues to get away with it. Right. This is real simple logic, okay? There's one charge against Everton. There's 115 against Manchester City. It has taken them 7 months to come to a conclusion on Everton's one charge. So how long do you think 115 is going to take? It could take years. And that's the reality. Because you've got to weigh up all them charges, then make the decision, and then, kind of as mentioned previously, if it's really bad, you know the appeal's coming, right? Then what? Daniel Cullerton says, Spurs have had 17 goalkeepers start in the Premier League. If you had a good sit down and think of them, do you think you could name them all? Yes. Yes, I could. Torsvet, Walker, I don't think did. Torsvet, Walker, Espen Bardson, Hans Sagers, Neil Sullivan, Casey Keller. There's going to be some ropies in there at some. Did Chris Day ever play for us in the league? I don't think he did. Where am I up to here? Sort of 2001-ish. It's 02, 03, 04. Paul Robinson, but I'm missing something in between here, and I'm missing something with Keller, I think. Who would have played for us in goal there? No. Robinson, who was back up to Robinson? Radic Cherney would be one. I'm on 8 so far. We've got Aurelio Gomez. I'm definitely going to be missing some by this point. Aurelio Gomez. I don't think Anik ever did play in the Premier League for us. I think he only played in the Cup. I don't think he played in the league. He might have, though. He might have. Maybe. I'm missing some backup keeper here. Where am I going into? 10, 11, Gomez, Cudicini. I've done them, and I'm still on 9. What era comes next? Hugo. So then there's Hugo, and then so that's 10. So I'm only looking at backups and so now I'm looking at Vicario. I'm looking at Brad Friedel is one. I missed out. 12. Brad Friedel. Who am I missing as backup goalkeepers? Forster, obviously. Fraser Forster. Who else has played in goal for us last few years? Why am I having a mind blank? Michel Vorm is another one. Stipe Pleticosa played for us in a League Cup game. I don't think he ever played for us in the Premier League. Why am I having blanks here? Wembley. Vorm was a backup to Loris for a long time. Who am I missing? There's someone else in between. Who was your goalie? Galini is another one, isn't he? I'm missing 3. Let me know who the 3 I didn't name are. I think that's a good stab. I've thought about it long enough. Yeah, I'd get there. So it's probably really shit content for everyone. Oh, you said 17. I'm only missing 2. Details said completely agree for what it's worth. What you're supposed to ignore the leaks because of morality. Lol. Thanks for the content change. Enjoy your weekend. Thank you. 11-9 Ross Kenny. Thank you again for the shout out for my shirt this week. Up the pod. You're very welcome, mate. Liam Humphrey says Newcastle thrashed the Gunners today. Away the lads. Dan Stairs has agreed. FPL Towers could resolve the matter by just moving the deadline to time at first kickoff. It doesn't resolve it though, is it? Because then you've got the 3 o'clocks and laters. You never completely resolve it. Patrick says, Arsenal fan, I woke up to the recurring nightmare of Aaron Lennon equalised at the Emirates in 2008. Yeah, look, it's my best Phil Thompson impression. 4-4! Ruben Villa says, hi James, I'm thinking of going with no Haaland. Game week 12 to game week 16. Thoughts? My thoughts are I really can't bother to do any more FPL at the moment. But yeah, it's fine, mate. Dave Lister says 3 years equals 113 charges. James says 750 months equals 67 years. Ryan Renfrey. Sky question is Salah a must have for capsule tomorrow. Other options Watkins or Szoboszlai. You know I don't like those words, Ryan, but yeah, get it done, mate. D Taff says downstairs, yeah, or alternatively more the deadline way back. One of the other downstairs with Neko being one of my go-tos. We'll definitely check out one of our own. Thanks, Nicky. Dave Lister says, if I was in UK, I'd buy you a pint. I'm a Lewisham boy living in Washington, DC. Ruben says, who's your favourite Spurs player of all time? My favourite Spurs player of all time is the great Ledley King. Dan, you're responding, so I'm going to kind of jump that now because it's becoming a separate conversation about time zones and stuff, but thank you, mate. FPL Gold Galazzo, so which football boots would you prefer, Predators or Vapors, and which colours would you wear? Do I even know what a Nike Vapors look like? I know what the Predators were because that's when I started playing football. Black boots, mate. Gazaniga, God, shit, he's fucking terrible as well. Do you know what it's like? I said Gomez. I definitely said Gomez. Gazaniga, yeah. Ah, dear. We have 3 keepers that year as well, maybe. Loris, Gazaniga. Did someone else play for us in that year? I feel like there might have been another one. Because I feel like he missed out for a little bit as well. None of the kids would have played then. Joe Hart, surely. Did Joe Hart play for us in the Premier League or just Europe? I said Robinson, Danelius. Definitely. Atul Balaji says, James, before the season I predicted Spurs to finish above Arsenal when you laughed at me. How do you feel about that now? I'm still going to laugh at you, mate. It's not happening. Liam Humphrey says, top 5 managers in the league if everyone had the same team budget. Tough. I can tell you what teams it would be from. Guardiola, Arteta, Klopp, Ange, Eddie Howe, Unai Emery, De Zerbi from that group. I would put De Zerbi in there personally. I don't want to leave Ange out. Oh God, it's probably Ange or Unai Emery, isn't it? And the reason you have to say Ange in terms of top level football, it's like it's great start and stuff. Let's see longer term. So no, I've got to put Ange in there. Sorry to Unai Emery. I said Sullivan. I'm fairly sure I said Neil Sullivan. So that's it. So who's the other one I'm missing? Gazaniga, or was it Joe Hart? Was it someone I said? Yeah, need the answer. We need the answer, or we're never going to know. Who asked the question? We need the answer. Who's the player I'm missing? Daniel Cullerton. We need the answer, mate. Right, I'm going to give Daniel a second, but I don't think he's going to do it. I think he's probably gone. Again, buy tickets for tomorrow, guys. If you can join us, it'd be a great day, bringing many members of the FPL community together. It's going to be a laugh fun. Could just say as well, for those coming, like, do drink responsibly tomorrow. Please do respect our hosts at the Thirsty Bear who are helping put this on as well. Shout out to Nima at FPL Meets, done so much to help us as well. They've got their own meet up at the event in a couple of weeks as well on the 25th, which is Manchester City versus Liverpool and Brentford versus Arsenal as well. We'll plug that as well. I said Fraser Forster, Ruben Whiteman didn't play for us in the Premier League. Fairly certain of that. I feel like it could be. I don't think Joe Hart did play for us in the Premier League. Maybe. Might have. Don't know. We need the answer, Daniel. Come on, man. People are dying here. Thank you, Liam Humphreys. Right, we're going to end it there. Much love. Hopefully see many of you tomorrow. Support the show on patreon.com/Planet FPL. We'll be back Monday if everything goes well tomorrow. Lots of love, everyone. Have a great weekend. May your arrows be green. Take care. Bye for now.